Welcome to your weekend focus for August the 25th and the 26th, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send me each and every day. Thank you so much. I'm back. I'm home. I'm in the office. Thank you very much for, truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support, your love, your patience, your understanding, your caring, your friendship over this past month. Everything about the trip went better than planned, and that couldn't have been without all of the magic, the healing, the energy, the support that you sent me each and every day, and kept me in your prayers and your thoughts. And so thank you, because the trip went better than expected. We didn't hit a road bump. The only road bump I really hit was trying to get anything to work with computers and finding the time. We were trying to structure things and set things up. It was, but we did get out and about and enjoyed some of the scenery and the beauty, and I've got video of walks, scenery. It was just a very calming and beautiful place. And my mom, it's going to be great for her. She's just going to be treated like royalty, really. I couldn't expect better as I saw things coming into play. So any small doubts I did have going into it, I definitely didn't leave with any doubt that as hard as it was, we made the right choice. We definitely made the right choice for her. So thank you, truly. Okay, let's get to the reading. I just want you to know how thankful I am. So we have August the 25th and August the 26th, 2018. We have the full moon happening on the Sunday. Moon in Pisces, Sun in Virgo. We had a card fly out. Look at that, the Hangman. The Hangman appears. So relax. Take a deep breath. Balance yourself. Get out in nature. Take a step back. Don't try to control everything happening around you. Go with the flow. See what happens. Understand where the balance needs to be in your life. Full moons are about releasing, letting go, endings, healing, closure, and we may be looking at what needs to end in our life, what needs closure in our life, where do we need to allow healing to come into our life so that we can move forward, that we can rid ourselves of that burden or that responsibility or that obligation or that thought process or that bad behavior or that toxic friendship or environment. And yes, we are planning about walking into our tomorrow. Absolutely. I think Mars goes direct the day after this full moon. And this full moon is going to be a kite, which is exceptionally rare. So we have a lot of energy right now asking us to go with the flow, to think about how we need to bring balance into our lives, what adjustments we can make in order to step towards our dream, our goal, our desire, that relationship, growing that relationship, making it stronger. And it could be a relationship, yes, with a soulmate or a lover, but it could be with a best friend or somebody within the community or a group of people that you want to become more connected with or less connected with. It could be about a goal, a dream, a desire. And since we've just come off of the eclipses, we are looking, and we ended with a solar eclipse, so that's beautiful energy right into 2019. when the eclipses happen again. I think if you look at January of 2019, there is so much fire energy. It is unbelievable. And I believe that's when Mars moves into Aries. So we really get going as those new solar eclipses enter our life. So it's only begun. So we need to think long term here. This isn't something like a little bit of magic happening in your life. This is you moving forward in a certain direction, raising your energy, raising your vibration, your heart center, knowing, making the world a little bit more compassionate and loving through your actions, through your words. Stepping into who you are, your goal, your dream, your desires, the relationships that you want to be a part of. So the Hangman coming out here kind of did the whole reading, didn't it? We'll put that back in and see what we get. So we have Saturn involved in this. Uranus is involved in this. I think the Sun is trining both of them, and the Moon is sextiling both of them. So it's all beautiful, magical, wonderful energy. So it's really asking us to go into the flow, to trust God, our angels, our spirit guides, the universe, divine timing, knowing that we don't control when it comes into our life. When we are ready, it will appear. Things will come together. Seven of Cups. Oh, there's so many which ways I could go. I don't know which one to pick. I don't know which one is really wanted in my life. What if I make a mistake here? What if I choose the wrong thing? So we have to go back to the Hangman. So take a step back. We're going to see all kinds of available avenues in which to travel. Are things that we want to keep in our life, but we don't want to keep this. And there's going to be a lot of thoughts that, this could be like mental breakdown for some of us. We start listing all the negatives in our life and we forget about the positives. We start to think that that plate needed to be a platter because we can't juggle all of this. We get worn down by our obligations, our responsibilities, and how busy our life might be. Probably is. Or that you want to get to all these things, but there's always this chaos or this drama happening in your life. And go back to the Hangman. How do you step away from that drama? How do you step away from that chaos? Is your participation needed? Or do you need to focus on your dream, your goal, your desire? Knight of Swords. New Moon Affirmations and a full moon. Okay, I do have a video out. Get some things that really make you feel like, take ownership of them. And then just say them to yourself. That's all that video is really meant for. If you do it every day because you need somebody to say the words, then that's great. But make it your own. Use that as kind of like the framework for what you want to say, and it'll probably be much shorter. And you can say it throughout your day. While you're waiting for the kettle to boil, you can say it. While you're waiting to cross the street, you can say it. While you're waiting for your change at the coffee shop, you can say it to yourself. Your dreams, your hopes, your desires, and think big right now. Please think big right now. We've got Mercury and Jupiter, I think, squaring during this full moon. So Jupiter is saying, go deep inside. What is your true dream, your want, your desire? What is your goals? And believe that you can have them. Do you believe that you can have them? Because Mercury wants to charge forward, but Mercury's going to have a real hard time charging forward. But Mercury is also getting ready to go into Virgo, I think. So we're going to get really organized and start making those lists and cleaning out closets and doing away with some of that extra baggage. So the energy is really going to support you in big dreams right now, big goals, big desires. And don't worry so much about how you're going to get there or if it's going to manifest. Just have that commitment right now and say, yes, I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to be determined. Committing to myself, my happiness, my joy, my well-being. Because when you are elated, when your vibration is high, everybody else is around you becomes that much higher. The frequency, the happiness, the joys. Karma right in the middle. That's an 8 energy. Karma. It's time to make that commitment to yourself. It's time to get off the fence. It's time to commit, discipline yourself. What's your will? You know, if you want that promotion, it's probably going to come with more work. Are you willing to do the work? If you get into a relationship, you're going to have to change your schedule around in order for you two to have time together. Are you willing to do that? What are we willing to sacrifice for our dream or our goal, our desire, our want? And are we doing the work to support our thoughts, our hopes, our dreams? Or are we just hoping that it lands into our lap? You know, I'm seeing this full eclipse here, and I think that just recently the sun has passed over where last year's full, I think it was the full solar eclipse was. So where were you 6 months ago, 8 months ago? What were you trying to change in your life? What were you trying to connect to in your life? Remember, even though we've got Mercury now finally moving forward, we've got Mars on Monday. We still have, like, I think 5 planets that are retrograde. So it's about looking at our past steps. It's about understanding what we truly want. And going back to point A and going back to point A and going back to point A. And seeing how we can go forward with the right steps. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is, yeah, you just want to shoot all of those arrows forward, all those wands forward, all those sticks forward. I kind of saw, you know, the Sag pulling back on the bow to release the arrow, and it's just like having a handful of them, just shooting them, and one's going to hit the target, and as we go and pick them all up, we're going to find everything that we wanted, every door that we wanted open to be there. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to take distance. It's going to take not having that concrete, it's got to happen this way, and it's got to come from this source, and it's got to be with this person, and you know, all those things. We're trying to keep our controls in place, and this is no control. I'm going to shoot my dreams, my hopes, my goals out there, and then I'm going to get determined. I'm going to go pick up those wands one at a time, and it's going to lead me to exactly where I needed to go this whole time. So you got to go out and you got to pick them up. You got to go out there and work for it. And don't worry so much about how it's going to come together. On Instagram, I took a picture of the same piece of land out in the ocean, once in low tide and once in high tide. And so for the high tide, it looked like they were on this little island, and then there was all this water, and then there was land, and but in low tide, there was all sand. And it doesn't matter how it appears. Just know that it's going to. Have trust, have faith, have belief. Go with the flow. Know that you are protected. Know that you are safe. Know that you are deserving and worthy. There has been so much of that energy leading up to the eclipses of really knowing your own value, your own worth. And yes, you are worth it. Completely, totally. No doubt in my mind. Do you believe that? And our fifth card, let's do a fifth card. The Star. The Star is making the impossible possible, to dream the impossible dream, to go where very few have ever wandered. Remember, every genius in the world was called an idiot at some point when they said, oh, I can make a light bulb. I can make a telephone. I can make a craft that will fly in the air. I'm going to go to the moon. They were laughed at. The world is flat. The world is round. So don't think just because nobody sees your vision that it's not real and it can't be real and you can't step into it and you can't go forward in it. And we have that Saturn energy, and we have the Pluto energy, and we have the Mars energy, all in Capricorn, grounding us, making us think about the details and the, even though the moon itself is in Pisces, which kind of gives us that spirituality, that dreamlike presence sometimes the illusion. So kind of watch the illusion. Are we buying into something that isn't real, that isn't going to lead us in the right direction, that's leading us astray in some way? So we get very realistic about where we could actually go. It should actually scare you. Like, wow, could I handle that? And of course you could handle it. Do you have the belief? Do you feel worthy of it? Shall we get an affirmation card? I think we should. And then the numerology, well, we're in August, so that's the 8th month. That's your strength card. Okay, that's will, that's effort, that's responsibility, that's money, that's karma. 8 is one of those special magical numbers because it's one of the 2 numbers that we can write over and over again without actually lifting up our pen. 8 and the 0. Everything else we can't. Well, I guess the 1. Count the plate, go back and forth on that. But you're not allowed to go backwards, I guess. That's the thing. These need a good shuffle for some reason. I'm not even getting prompted yet to stop shuffling here. So maybe I'm forgetting to say something. Oh, the numerology. I guess I should be talking about the numerology, but I started there. The 8. The 8 is your inner strength of knowing that you don't have to trick people or fool people or be conniving in some way or secretive in some way, or not so much secretive. Commanding, overbearing, controlling. Okay, the strength card, when you look at it, it's a woman landing on a lion that's kind of looking very passive and sleeping in most of the cards. Okay, that's too many. It's like 5 cards, so we're going to put that back in there. So it's the trust, the connection. Okay, there's a connection between that lion and that woman. And the connection is trust and respect and love and understanding. And so we don't have to pick up the whip and the chair in order to get that lion to do what we wanted it to do, which is be a nice big comfy pillow for us to lean against. It's through those words that can't be spoken. So know that you just have to walk in your truth, in your path. And people of integrity expect to be believed, and when they're not, they let time prove them right. So don't worry about the naysayers, and keep your dream a little bit quieter to yourself then. But believe in you. Believe in your vision of your tomorrow. The Page of Earth appears. Young energy for a full moon reading, I tell you. It has been that way for what? This is like the third or fourth full moon now, where it's all about your new beginnings and looking at your new beginnings. Yes, through looking at where we want to go, we see what is holding us back, what is weighing us down, which is not allowing us to move forward. So the Page of Earth, I don't think I even talked about the numerology. I got to the 8. So 8/25/2018, that comes out to a 26, which would be an 8. So we have that strong 8 energy on the Saturday, knowing our truth, believing in ourselves, trusting in the people that we have surrounded ourselves with, trusting in our environment. And maybe if you can't trust a person or an environment, you need to ask yourself, you need to be that hangman and say, okay, so how do I need to change this or transform this or tweak this? Or how do I walk away from this? Because it's not bringing in the right balance. Or maybe it's bringing in beautiful balance. You can be yourself. You can let your hair down. You can share your dreams, and people are supporting you and loving you and respecting you. And so the 9 then, the 9 energy would be the full moon, which means that the Monday directly after, when Mars goes direct, will have a 1 energy, a 10 energy. So, get ready for the doors to start opening. Stop doubting yourself. I think there's a lot of doubt. There has been a lot of doubt. Page of Earth. Let's put this back here. It is. Commitment to prosperity. First signs of tangible success. Undeniable evidence that hard work will pay off. Dreams grounded in reality. Start of a new project. Everything starts with a plan, and I am beginning to see the results generate prosperity. I am a doer, and I get to make my own decisions. I have the ability to attract what I need. Those are all just beautiful affirmations to say every day, especially when you are working towards a goal, a dream, and desire. Everything starts with a plan, and I am beginning to see the results generate prosperity. I'm beginning to see the results. Your mind will be triggered to look for any of the smallest mention of a result. And then that's affirmed. And then you start to get that positive feeling that you can go forward in that direction. You start to get more confidence, or allowing yourself to trust your actions, your words, more and more each day of who you are, your heart center. I am a doer, and I get to make my own decisions. I am a doer. I am a doer. I am a doer. I am a doer. I make my own decisions. I make my own decisions. I make my own decisions. I have the ability to attract what I need. I have the ability to attract what I need. And saying those things over and over, your mind doesn't know fact from fiction, okay? So if you constantly say, I'm so broke, what am I going to do? And then you have to buy something, and so, oh, I'm so broke, what am I going to do? And then you go to the mailbox and you get that bill, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so broke, what am I going to do? And guess what happens is you actually are asking your brain to keep you in a state of lack. Your brain is working hard for that to be your reality because you keep stating it out loud. I have the ability to attract money, prosperity, my soulmate, a new best friend. I have the ability to attract. I have the ability to attract. I can do this. If I want it, I can ask for it. It will show up. Another The Six of Water. You know, we have a lot of planets in retrograde yet, so don't be so quick to jump the gun there. You can think things through. We ended up on a solar eclipse, so we have that new moon energy really pushing us through right to January of 2019. I think that's when the eclipses start again, in January. I could be wrong about that, but that's when, you know, I'm not an astrologer. I try and pay attention though. Six of Water, nostalgia, sweet memories, old flames, yearning for security of the good old days. If I'm being triggered to remember the past, I can enjoy the warm memories, but must recognize that they are ephemeral. I said that wrong. I know I did. Emotion can color my recall and distort my understanding of what is happening today. I acknowledge and heal old wounds. I can experience security today, enveloped in the arms of divine love. There is no need to return to the illusion of the golden era of yore, because I can begin to co-create a better reality right now. Authentic healing and joyfulness will be mine if I stop rekindling the emotions of the past. And so whenever you are looking at the past, try to detach yourself emotionally. Try to look at it more as a movie of it happening to somebody that, you know, you recognize very strongly. Don't relive the pain, the sadness, the sorrow, the chaos part of it as much as possible. Try and disconnect from those things. Because in lies the true answer of how you could actually move in a different direction, have a different response. People always look back and they say, oh, I wish I would have done that. But we never actually make a decision in our lives to move us in a worse place. We always make that decision to move us to a better place. And hindsight is 2020 because now we have more knowledge. Now we see, after we stepped away from that stress or that chaos or that sorrow, we saw how there could have been a different opportunity open to us. So we know now that there is a different path that we were blinded from before. We can act in a new way. We can respond in a new way. We can do in a new way. One more, the Ten of Water. So we have a lot of water energy, and we do have the full moon in Pisces, so doesn't surprise me. Serenity, peace, good fortune, and well-being. All is well with the world and me. Well-being is my natural state. Everything I need comes to me easily and effortlessly. I feel joy and express it to others as I look around and see all the love that we share. I take pleasure in all I have accomplished. Whatever attention I receive or don't receive, I am serene, for I know full well that it took me what it took for me to get to where I am. I celebrate myself and all who traveled the road with me, and I feel grateful to Spirit for being my companion always. Now write that one down. All is well with the world and me. Well-being is my natural state. How about saying that 100 times a day and watch your world change around you? Go ahead, prove me wrong. Start saying things like that on a regular basis. I have more money than I know what to do with. I have, all my bills are paid in full. I attract money. I attract success. I attract love. I attract new opportunities. I attract new friendships. And watch how that part of your world starts to change. Go ahead. Try it yourself. Prove me wrong. And it's hard to get into the habit of saying it. Yeah, you gotta put a little string on your finger or something to remind yourself. And then watch, because then you'll get comfortable really fast in a couple of days and things are starting to happen and you kind of forget about saying that affirmation, and then all of a sudden you're like, where did it all go? Well, you forgot. You started buying back into that old program that you were running in your head about who you are. So this is a chance to write that new program. I take pleasure in all I have accomplished. So really honor yourself. Okay, honor even the struggles, the chaos, the sorrows, the tears. Honor it all because it has molded you into who you are today, which is exceptional and unique. And understand that everything that has happened to you, good, bad, and ugly, has transformed you into this path that you want to walk. So have a confidence, have a belief in who you are, and celebrate you this weekend in some way, in some fashion. I am serene, for I know full well what it took for me to get to where I am. So you don't have to prove to anybody that it's been a hardship. I think a lot of us can say that we've walked through fires over the last, I think it's really like 12 years, you know? For some of us, it's like 12 years of really going through transformations, really going through changes in our life. One fire is put out and another begins on the other side of you. So know that it was there to, we don't learn, we don't change, we don't grow, we don't transform unless it's worth it for us to get out of that situation or move on or change something in our lives. That's when we grow, that's when we learn, that's when we transform, is in the harder times. And so we've gone through the harder times to get this magical energy into our lives, 2018, to really make some strong commitments about what we really want in our lives, who we are, and that we are worthy and deserving of the path forward that we imagine. An animal card, of course, an animal card. And if you hang on after that, because it is a full moon, we have to do a Journey of Love card. So if you like the Journey of Love card at the end, then don't go away after our little animal here. Well, these cards really seem to need a good shuffle. Well, they've gone a long distance. I drove about, the end destination was about a little over 1,500 kilometers away, which is, for those of you who don't know metric, about 850, 60, 70, 80 miles one way. And so the cards have really, I think I went through 5 provinces in total in like pretty well 2 days. We rested for a week and a half before hitting the next one. So, and we created memories, and we grew a beautiful place for my mom. And the one thing I didn't see was the moose. I think I shared it with you how, I kept telling people like there's this one stretch of highway and it's really bad. And when you hit a moose, you don't walk away from that accident. You knock their legs out and they come in head first, antlers first through your windshield. So you don't really get to tell the story if you encounter a moose. So they highly, highly, highly recommend that, especially in dusk and dawn, that you don't drive, because that's when they seem to appear more on the roadways and the highways. And so I kept telling people about, and I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here during this drive, this time. But the more I said that I didn't want to be there, the more I actually brought it into my experience, because guess where I was? I think it was like a 25-kilometer stretch that I had to do right at dusk. So, and that was only so that I would hit my destination by midnight, and I'd already been driving for like 9 or 10 hours, so I knew that I couldn't delay and still make my destination. So here's our moose. Here's our moose telling us about balance. There's one that I didn't encounter. I did see seals and porpoises and little squirrels and lobsters, and there's the porpoise now. We're going to moose. So that was all cool. Very cool stuff for me. Balance, release, recalibrate, and dignity. I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do that something that I can do. Isn't that powerful? Moose tells you it's time to realign your purpose. By looking within and noting what you are doing outwardly, you will begin to see where you need to recalibrate your life. Balance is a key to enjoying your life, but many times it is lacking. You may feel as if you are on a teeter-totter. Sometimes your moods are up, sometimes down. Don't allow a brief moment in time to destroy your balance. Moose walks with dignity. It is a time for you to hold your head high and stand tall. Believe in yourself. Believe that you are worthy. Believe that you are deserving of any dream, any desire, any goal that you've set for yourself. Know that you can accomplish those things. Be the moose. Stand tall. And of course, a journey of love for those of you waiting. Oh, look at this. Well, this doesn't happen often. We got the cloak. And I thought, wow, that card's really thick. And it took a little bit of prying. But 35 intimacy is there. So there. Well, we'll do 50 the cloak. That was so strong. The cloak. Loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and nowhere to go. I always like reading the poem first. Okay. Around you is a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it served you, for a time, as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside to find out what you truly feel, what you truly need, to find yourself after being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Yet the time is fast approaching when you will no longer require a cloak. You have attained an integration within, a knowledge of self that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You have now learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in. You can play. The message that this oracle brings to you is that you can safely release the forms of security that you once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional that you can enter into relationships with more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need when you need it, without having to withdraw from the relationship entirely. It's time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you whilst actively engaging in a deeper relationship. And you'll have fun. Exclamation mark it even has here. And so let's just look at 35 intimacy. It was kind of hidden behind there, but I never ignore a card. I know this video is getting kind of long. I'll have some comments about it's only 2 days you're talking about. No, it's not. Not this energy. This energy stays with you for another, like, it could be up till the next full moon. You know, definitely till the next new moon. So in a couple of weeks, we've got the strong energy to walk through. But it could, and there's other things happening, like, you know, we have the kite. Okay, so imagine a kite. This is the best way somebody described a kite to me. Is so what is it? What is it about flying a kite? Well, you have to get it up there. First, you have to take it. You have to get it all assembled. You have to put the string on it. Make sure the string is tight. Then you have to run, 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 and work so hard. And just when you don't think it's going to get up there, the wind comes and it grabs it and flies it into the sky. And then what do you got to do? Then you got to control it. You got to give it so much energy, give it a little bit of rope, pull it in a little bit, and that kite's going to come nose first. If you take your focus off of it, if you take your focus off your commitment, your direction. So we get this kite, we get this magical kite, but can we keep it up in the air? Can we believe in ourselves? Can we commit to ourselves? You know, we have Pisces, that's spirituality and everything, but it's also, you know, Pisces also rules, you know, institutions and hospitals and jails and psych wards. And so, you know, there is a negative side, there's a very positive side of allowing yourself to see some kind of unacknowledged or repressed part of yourself, or to open yourself up to spirituality at a higher level, or of love, service to others, perhaps. You know, where you self-sacrifice and you do it out of love and devotion and kindness and caring and empathy. And then you have the sun in Virgo, which is all about, you know, making sure that you are cleaning out that closet, that you're not taking the extras with you, that you're making your list, that you are putting your focus on what needs focus. So it gives us that, and it's all about love and beauty when it comes to a Virgo. Virgos are just so beautiful as people. I just, you know, hug a Virgo today. Um, their sense of caring and commitment to service is beautiful in small relationships and large relationships. So can we stop feeding our ego long enough to really give that kite the energy it needs to stay flying high for you, baby? 35, and look at that, the 8 energy. Oh, we've got to get to the poem first. Becoming one, allowing all that is, both within and without, to blend. Like a wave meeting the shore, each aspect of who we are is part of a grander whole. And in truth, yet greater still. To know myself is to know you. Whether I look in your eyes, or touch lips, or hold hands, or bathe in the warmth of your embrace. Your vulnerability, is the key to your growing spirituality. Now is the time to share yourself openly, without pretense or defensiveness. Let down the barriers that have held you apart from another, from the divine, from the world, and let yourself to be held by the experience of your life without needing to defend against them. Expect nothing and be open to receive everything. Expect nothing and be open to receive everything. And when we match it with the cloak, you know, we have that sense of taking the cloak off and allowing ourselves to love again, or to enter relationships, or new community settings, groups of people, teams of people, new friendships, new alliances, new jobs, new opportunities, to allow those things into our life again. But we don't have to keep that cloak on, that safety net around us, because we know now who we are and what we will allow in our lives, where that line is in the sand. You are learning that you have enough strength to truly surrender. You are brave enough to allow yourself to be truly loved by the divine. The message of this oracle is that you have recently opened yourself up in new ways to meet the world and your loved ones, or are considering doing so in order to share something of yourself with another. So it could be letting out a talent and ability, releasing it onto the world, not hiding that anymore. Do it. It's exactly what it says. It says, do it. You are ready to be seen and received more than ever before. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.